You are listening to The Prairie Child by Arthur Stringer, read by Jennifer Perree for Spoken Realms. In this final novel of the trilogy, Chaddy reflects on motherhood, identity, and the deepening rhythms of family life as she raises her children on the prairie and begins to rediscover herself. Please note, this book contains subject matter of a sensitive nature and includes phrases or depictions that may be considered offensive by today's standards. These elements do not reflect the views or values of the narrator or publisher and are presented as originally written to preserve the historical and literary context of the work. I hope you enjoy this reading of The Prairie Child. Friday, the 8th of March. But the thing I can't understand, Dinky Dunk, is how you ever could. Could what? My husband asked in an aerated tone of voice. I had to gulp before I got it out. Could kiss a woman like that, I managed to explain. Duncan Argyle McKail looked at me with a much cooler eye than I had expected. If he saw my shudder, he paid no attention to it. On much the same principle, he quietly announced, that the Chinese eat birds' nests. Just what do you mean by that? I demanded, resenting the fact that he could stand as silent as a December beehive before my morosely questioning eyes. I mean that, being married, you've run away with the idea that all birds' nests are made out of mud and straw, with possibly a garnish of horsehairs. But if you'd really examine those edible nests, you'd find that they were made out of surprisingly appealing and succulent tendrils. They're quite appetizing, you may be sure of, or they'd never be eaten. I stood turning this over, exactly as I've seen my Dinky turn over an unexpectedly rancid nut. Aren't you, under the circumstances, being rather stupidly clever? I finally asked. When I suppose you'd rather see me cleverly stupid, he found the heart to suggest. But that woman to me always looked like a frog, I protested, doing my best to duplicate his pose of impersonality. Well, she doesn't make love like a frog, he retorted, with his first betraying touch of anger. I turned to the window, to the end that my Eliza crossing the ice look wouldn't be entirely at his mercy. A belated March blizzard was slapping at the panes and cuffing the house corners. At the end of a long winter, I knew tempers were apt to be short.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?